On March the 4th and 5th, WIPO will elect a new Director General. As WIPO is mainly in charge of international cooperation of intellectual property and the administration of international patent application. So it is natural for China, a world-leading patent applicant, to nominate its candidate. Chinese candidate, Madame Wang Bingying, currently WIPO's Deputy Director General, is highly competent. She has been working with this organization for nearly 30 years. She is familiar with the running of this organization and enjoys great esteem and respect. So actually, the story could be very much simpler. It should be a fair competition of professionals. But regrettably, as the spokesman of the Chinese Foreign Ministry pointed out, the United States is turning this election into a political game. The United States has no candidate of its own, yet it tries every means to block Ms. Wang Bingying, and even takes this venture at its top diplomatic agenda. We got the impression the Americans are trying to doing whatever they can and spare no efforts and try to exert pressures by stressing anyone but the Chinese. So that means they try to stop a Chinese candidate, simply neglect totally her personal integrity and competence. China's bid for the post of heads of international organizations is aimed at promoting international cooperation. It represents China's willingness to support multilateralism and to make more contributions to the United Nations. The current heads of specialized agencies, who are Chinese, were all elected by member states through fair elections. All these Chinese nationals representing member states' trust. They act on the will and interest of member states and in an open and fair manner. Their remarkable performance are widely recognized by the international community. In the next 2 years, 3 of the 4 Chinese nationals, namely the head of the ICO, UNIDO, and ITU, will leave their office. So there is no whatsoever so-called China's control or China's intention to dominate, at least in terms of the numbers, over international organizations. China has firmly established the concept that protecting intellectual property is protecting innovation. Strengthening the protection of intellectual property is not only China's international obligation, but also China's inherent need to implement its innovation-driven development strategy and expand its opening up.